Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. I hope you're all having a great day. It's race 2 of the season 6, the final season of this career mode before NASCAR 25. And it's another super speedway to kick off the two first races of the season with two super speedways here from Atlanta. As we got some new schemes we're going to see on the track this weekend as well. How about the Monster Energy Ultra paint scheme for the Honda Civic driver at Trackhouse Racing of Tyler Reddick. Now, as we came up just short of our second Daytona 500 victory by 2/1000ths of a second to Ryan Preece, who puts himself locked into the playoffs with that Andretti Global team. Andretti Global has won 4 races total, and 2 of them have been Daytona 500s, and they've won 2 of the last 3 races. Remember, they won with Bubba Wallace in the penultimate race at Iowa last season before the championship finale in Kansas. As we have the beautiful Hellman's paint scheme, of course, with the Junior Motorsports number 8 now, of course, the Dale Junior Classic number 8, as we head on the racetrack for this brand new Atlanta track that we debuted last season, and it was a thriller. And now this season we have it twice on the schedule, race 2, and then we have it later in the playoffs as well for that 12 race playoff that includes now 2 super speedways instead of 1. That's going to be thrilling as well. We've gone down to road, we've added 1 super speedway for the playoffs, we've removed 1 road course, so instead of 2 road courses, now only 1 road course with the Charlotte Roval come playoff time. Here in qualifying, we know what to expect. It's going to be starting in the back. It's a super speedway now, and it would be exactly that. P36, as you see Andres Perez at the back of the grid. You're going to notice as well, I do have a few car numbers that I need to fix. Justin Haley as well, or Ryan Preece needs to be fixed from 51 to, of course, the 29, and then his car number icon, and I also need to change Josh Berry and fix that. Chase Elliott on pole over Ross Chastain, Connor Zilisch, Gio Ruggiero, and Ty Gibbs, your top 5, of course. But we know qualifying, just like the Daytona 500, no longer matters in Atlanta. We had trucks action this weekend where Daniel Hemrick held off Tanner Gray for the win, and Brett Holmes there in third here for Atlanta Motor Speedway. But of course, as well, beyond trucks, we did have the Amazon Prime Series racing here, and of course, with the super speedway style racing, anybody can put themselves into the playoffs here potentially, and the winner would end up being John Hunter Nemechek, so not really a big surprise there. And keep in mind, we do have, of course, with our playoff format here in NASCAR Heat 5, you must be top 30 in the Cup Series points to move on into the actual playoffs. Amazon Prime is actually top 25 as we get ready now to go racing for the Cup Series action here on Sunday. Going to be a thrilling one, as I'm very excited for this race. This was a tricky race for me last season, and we're coming in with a lot of drivers who know they can surprise, just like Ryan Preece did in the Daytona 500. Someone can have a storybook race right here as well from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now, please ignore the driver pictures. I know Gio Ruggiero and Corey Day, those are not pictures of Corey Day or Gio Ruggiero on the screen right there. As huge shout out, last episode we actually had NASCAR Truck Series driver Rajah Caruth actually comment on my video, which was super cool that he even has any idea that this career mode exists with him in the 48 car. But now getting ready to take the green flag here in this Hellman's number 8. The green flag is out here from Atlanta Motor Speedway, and it's 2 super speedway style races to kick off the season. Well, we see another surprise winner in the first 2 races now as we head down into turn number 1. Of course, it's really difficult to kind of get an idea of where everybody's going to stack up here in season 6 in the first 2 races because it's super speedways. You don't know where everyone's really going to be, and of course we go to Iowa in the next episode. So race 3 at Iowa, even that's a bit of a hard race to kind of get an idea. And we go to Bristol, of course, to follow. It's really going to take until we get to 1.5 miles to really understand where everyone's going to kind of be stacking up. So it's going to be a wild start, I think, to this 6th and final season of this NASCAR Heat 5 career mode now as we continue to march our way forward early on. And this racetrack's interesting. When you're back where I am, you can make the second lane work, but when you kind of get into the top 25 or so, you want to kind of migrate down to the inside. So if we find ourselves outside of the top 30, second lane, it does have the ability to move forward. But once, like I said, you get to the top 25, your opportunity to go forward on the outside line kind of fades, and you want to jump down to the inside and do exactly that. However, for me, being on the outside didn't quite work early on. I actually dropped back to 36 behind new Joe Gibbs driver in that 81 car, Jesse Love. New scheme for him this weekend. You see in the Sam Sara car as well. We're to the inside of colleague part-time car in that number 10, Sheldon Creed, behind the wheel of that car this weekend. But yeah, I've already migrated down to the bottom, and I'm just trying to follow Jesse Love going forward. Jesse Love, I think a lot of hype around him and Connor Zilish this season. Both drivers in their, of course, third full-time season of Cup Series competition. I think high expectations for them both. They both made the playoffs. They both won one race apiece last season in cars that, of course, weren't the greatest. I mean, Trackhouse wasn't that great last season. They had a lot of ups and downs. And then, of course, Richard Childress Racing, under that Kevin Harvick and Austin Dillon co-leadership, they started off the season hot, and then they kind of faded as the season went on, and they kind of looked back to where they were before a lot of the success they had early on last season. As we're to the inside of a Trackhouse car, how about Corey Day in the number 32 up there for the brand new Jordan Anderson Racing? Now expect to see Jordan Anderson Racing not be in, of course, a great team, but I think Corey Day has the talent to be able to run better than the car is capable of. So I would not be surprised to see Corey Day, run, top 25 in points this season in maybe a 30th place car. As we're to the inside of the 29 Daytona 500 winner here of Ryan Preece. We crossed the line about the same margin behind where he beat us in the 500 in that last episode. Only 20 laps in stage 1, so we're already coming up on the halfway point here as the 20 of Christopher Bell leads the way, who won this race last season, don't forget. I would love to win this racetrack before the career mode comes to an end. And just a little teaser as we continue to work our way forward, I am working on a classic NASCAR series that would start on NASCAR Heat 4 in like the 2018 season and go from 2018 all the way to current day of 2025 and beyond. But just to not get a little ahead of myself, it's a very early work in progress. So it's going to be a while till you see it, but I hope to start it before NASCAR 25. If it doesn't get started before NASCAR 25, then it will probably be put on hold until kind of the NASCAR 25 hype dies down, where it depends on if that's a good game or not. If the game sucks, I mean, then the hype's gone in a week. But if it's a good game, it might take a few months. Now, as we're actually going to see some green flag pit stops kick off now, as we have about 20 laps of fuel, or about 19 laps. Actually, I think it's more like 18. But we're going to see some drivers pitting early, and actually you can see a whole bunch of drivers coming in here this next time around. And I was like, okay, do I pit now? And we decide against it because there's so many cars coming right there. We're going to surely lose time, but now we don't have any drafts, so I'm really going to pay the price there. But we're going to come into the end of lap 16. We're going to come in and make our pit stop now. As you can actually see, Carson Kvapil and Noah Gragson going to be way more ballsy here on the pit entry, and they're going to get me into the pit entrances. We will give up 2 spots, but fortunately we get down to pit speed. No adjustments necessary. The car was driving fine. We're going to make 4 tires, a pit stop here, get some fuel in the car, and get ready to head back out. It's going to be, of course, a close to 16-second pit stop there, as I do as well make very slight repairs to the car as we're going to rejoin the action now, actually in front of the 43 of Gragson and others as well, as we wait to see where we cycle out. But it looks like Christopher Bell has cycled through as the leader of this race, so he gets back out in front here now. As we actually slide, we hit the apron with the right rear, and it kicked us all the way down the racetrack. But look at the damage done. I mean, we have, through this pit cycle, dropped outside of the top 25. We're down to 30th behind the new RFK 60 driver replacing Justin Haley this year of Josh Berry, so not pretty. And here comes Noah Gragson as well to my outside with 3 laps to go in stage 1. Fortunately for me, I would actually get back out in front of Gragson and run down Josh Berry as we were approaching the final lap, which was now led by Reddick. And then as we came to the final lap, Carson Hocevar to the lead as we're going to get a yellow. Chandler Smith has gone around. Hocevar is going to take the stage win. First stage win for a junior motorsports car this season, as he had ended last season with so much hype, and I think it's going to continue. But Chandler Smith is going to bring out the yellow and end stage 1 3/4 of a lap early, and we're going to see as well a mix of pit strategy. Reddick, Gibbs staying out, and others are going to stay out. We're going to pit to stay on strategy with the majority of the field. But we'll take a look at that reason for the caution. Of course, look at Smith, just loses it off of turn 4 with a tire down, and his Trackhouse career started a little bit rough in the first couple of races here with Daytona and now Atlanta. Now as we get ready to go for the start of stage 2, and we're all the way down in P28. It's not pretty, but we've got plenty of time, and I've got a lot of patience. We got 33 laps here in stage 2, 13 additional laps compared to that first opening stage. Brent Cruz on the inside here in his second season. I know there's some rookie stripes here on that car, but Brent Cruz in his second full-time season of Cup Series action. I mean, a rough start in Daytona. He's had some rough luck throughout his rookie season. One of those drivers that's just been plagued with tire failures. There's always a driver in the career mode that gets plagued with tire failures, and at one point it was Kyle Busch, Shane Van Gisbergen at one point, Daniel Suarez, I remember way back in the career mode, and right now it seems to be the 31 that's kind of got the tire failure curse. Is now Chase Elliott actually forced it 3 wide on me right there, and kudos to him. He made it work. I mean, I'm not a fan of it because I'm going backwards now and actually catch the outside wall, and we're dropping all the way outside the top 30 again. So every time this happens, it's just like hitting the reset button. We've got all this work again to do to get back forward, and now we get down to the middle lane using that draft. We're 3 wide middle with Blaney on our inside, his good friend of Bubba Wallace on my outside here now as we cross the stripe. It's only lap 4 of stage 2, but we are racing hard for, well, 34th now as Chandler Smith is back in the fight to my inside. Look at Chase Elliott now 3 wide in the middle with Creed on his outside, the 99 on the inside. Finally, I'm getting an opportunity to get to the inside lane, and we can really focus on going forward. You see the 12 discount tire Ford Mustang. Zane Smith, I mean, he was a serious threat to win the Daytona 500. He had by far, I would say, the best car of anybody throughout that entire Daytona 500 race, and I thought we might see Zane Smith win the 500 and you know, put his frustrations of his first season with Penske to ease right off the bat, but it just wasn't meant to be, of course. But I would not be surprised if you see Zane Smith and Penske as a whole running a lot better this season as we slide off of turn 4, bouncing off cars. We save it. What a save! But certainly not what I wanted to be in terms of position, because we gave up some more track position and dropped to P37, a very unexpected slide on the exit of turn 4, and that's one of the characteristics of this car with this mod here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Sometimes it can just kind of get away from you. Look up front as well. We got the 15 Rookie of the Year contender, second Tricon car as they have expanded. That's Gio Ruggiero now as we've got a spin. Ty Gibbs in the middle of the pack into the outside wall. Byron as well as Bell and as well as our teammate of Zilish all get a piece of it, and the caution flies in stage 2, bringing everybody into the pits. I've got 2 seconds of damage right now, but we're actually not going to repair the damage because track position is extremely valuable, and look at the change around in the pits. We've gained multiple positions here, and now up into P28. But the car, we actually get the restart glitch, and just for reference, I was on the back of the car in front of me when the caution came out, so that's why the car is not launching here into turn number 1. So the track position we just gained, well, of course, is gone because of the restart bug that's been in this game for 5 years. And now we're all the way back to the last car running. Ty Gibbs is now out of this race. Fortunately for me, even though we lose a bunch of ground right here, as we head down into turn 3 and as we go in towards the next lap, we're going to be able to gain this time back, and we're at least going to still be connected to the main pack and still have a chance to go forward. But I mean, it feels like we've had a lot of things going against us here today in Atlanta. Carson Hocevar, your stage 1 winner, now out in front once again, but as we come towards now lap 16, this is where we really reel in this pack once again. You got some big names back here of Bell, Elliott, as well as Byron has actually given a big shot to the back of the 55 of Taylor Gray there as we look to the inside of this number 20 and continue to try and work our way forward now as the lead battle continues to, of course, shuffle around. This is no different than a Daytona or Talladega at this point, but honestly, for a super speedway, it's kind of like real life right now. Atlanta, way more fun than Daytona or Talladega. The racing's a lot more difficult here in this game than it is at Daytona and Talladega, so it's just a lot of fun. And as well, to mention, this mod is now publicly available, so I can link that down below in the description as well if you are on PC and want to play with this. Redneck Jesus was the author of this mod, and he let me know recently this is a publicly available mod now, so I will have it available for download if possible in the description, so check down below for that. As we come to lap 20, stage 1 would have been ending this lap, but obviously stage 2, we've still got another 13 laps to go, and we're now led by the 2 of Todd Gilliland. I wouldn't expect, I was talking about Zane Smith and Gilliland, I expect them to run better, but don't expect them necessarily, you know, competing for wins, but they're definitely going to probably see some improvement. It looks like Penske has just overall made some gains, and a lot of Ford and Honda's teams have made some improvements over the off season, so it's going to be interesting to see, you know, maybe can they overtake Toyota. I mean, they really didn't show up a lot in Daytona, and I'm not seeing a lot of Daytona, Actually, hold on, we've got another crash. It's the 55 of Taylor Gray, tire down into turn 3, caution out. And that removes any likelihood of a green flag pit stop here in stage 2. Everyone's going to come back into the pits and get tires and feel. Fortunately, we gained 1 spot over Justin Haley in that Rick Ware 51. We move back to the inside lane, P27, exactly where we want to be, behind this 98 of Chase Briscoe, as the green flag is back out. It's going to be less than 10 laps to go here in stage number 2. Some work to do for us here. It's not been a flashy day for this Hellman's number 8 Junior Motorsports team, but Carson Hocevar, the number 4, has really shown some signs of speed, and speed that could maybe win this race, as we're 3 wide with one of the Rookies of the Year competitors of Corey Day and that all-new Jordan Anderson number 32 team. As we head down this back straightaway, they're 4 wide behind us as we head down into turn 3, but they're going to keep it clean and they're going to keep it green as we come through 3 and off of turn 4. Haley on the top, Day in the middle, myself on the bottom as we come through this tri-oval, and no draft help's going to allow that 32 to clear us with 7 to go, and he actually stacks up on our nose into turn 1. Fortunately, we avoid any incident, and we continue to follow this 32 as we come to lap 27, coming to 28. Now Nick Sanchez out in front of this field now as we head down the front straightaway, but that lead is always changing. I think this race is really going to come down to the very last lap and even last corner. It's all about being on the inside at the right time and keeping your car from pushing up. That was one of the problems I was dealing with right now, and it might be because of the damage on the front bumper. As we go into the inside in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but the car really likes to push up, so I'm having to be a lot more patient on throttle input to get the car to just kind of stick on this inside, and that's certainly hurting us as we've only worked our way up to P27 with 4 laps to go, right to the back of the 60 of Josh Berry here. Big shot to his bumper into turn 1. How about Connor Zilish, who now takes the lead crash into the outside wall? That's Gio Ruggiero, and the caution's going to fly again and end stage number 2, and Junior Motorsports unexpectedly is going to sweep the first 2 stages as stage 2 goes to our brand new teammate of Connor Zilish. Super high expectations for Connor Zilish in his 3rd full-time season, and now in a team capable of fighting for a championship, and a known team for a championship, of course, with myself. Hocevar in P6, he's having a great race as we're all going to pit for 4 tires and feel. Junior Motorsports teammates running great. Myself, not so good, as we're going to restart here from P26. Obviously not where I want to be on the outside, but it is what it is here now, and we're just going to continue to try and work our way forward now as we've still got over 30 laps of racing to go. Stage 3, the 3rd and final stage, underway. It's gonna be a thriller right to the end of this thing, I think, now, as we are gonna follow this 23 of Ryan Blaney, his 2nd season with his new team of 2311. He left the door open. We're gonna split it 3 wide in the middle now. John Hunter Nemechek in the 4th part-time 2311 car there in front of us. Actually modded the car to be a Toyota, and then for whatever reason I must have made a slight mistake somewhere. Maybe I changed the wrong paint scheme, but that is not a Toyota. It's got a Cadillac body, so didn't notice that until, of course, I got into the race, so nothing I can do about it at that point. As we're to the inside of the 60 of Barry, this will put us into P24, and we're very, very slowly working our way forward again, but it feels like every time we get an opportunity to go forward, something doesn't seem to go our way, as I am pushing up the track on the exit of turn 2, and that allows Haley to my inside here down the back straightaway into turn 3, and once again we're kind of trapped on the top. They're 4 wide in front of us with Sheldon Creed in the mix, as well as the 11 of Corey Heim here now as Eckes gets to my inside. Bubba Wallace as well coming through to the inside, and Ryan Blaney here in the 23 on my inside. Finally, as we head down into turn 3, lap 58, we get back down to the bottom, but again we drop down to P28. Just trying to be patient, but obviously at this point now, I mean, we've spent the whole race grinding our way forward, and it just doesn't seem to be happening. patience starts to run out and you really want to get aggressive. But I felt like the problem was when I get aggressive, the car does this. It plows. It goes straight up the racetrack, and I open the door for now another driver of the 12 of Zane Smith. So I realized my problem, and I said, okay, we just got to be patient on that throttle for the center of the corner and the exit. We just kind of got to wait for the car to make sure it's hooked up on the bottom before we really get back to the gas. So as we come to lap 60, you can see doing a way better job right there immediately in turns 1 and 2. We get past Bubba Wallace. We force it 3 wide here on the 12 of Zane Smith into turn number 1. There's Christian Eckes in that Miller Lite number 6 for Brad Keselowski's RFK Racing here. And again, patience on throttle. It's making a difference. And a P24 spin in the back. It's the 55 of Taylor Gray again. Second caution caused by the 55 today, and his tire failures both times. Caution flies. This time everybody stays out because we cannot make it on a pit stop from here, so we're going to stay out and immediately get ready to go back racing here. And unfortunately, P24 puts us on the outside here now as we come to lap 64 of 91. Still not in the fuel window to make it. We need to be pitting with about 18 to 19 laps to go if we're going to be in the fuel window. That's the goal, and of course we've got far more than 18 to 19 laps left in this race. Now you can save a decent amount of fuel to where there is a chance you can stretch it to 20 to 21 laps, but you need a bit of a help with a yellow at that point if you're going to make that happen. So of course that's far-fetched, still out in the future that we might not even have to worry about now. Is to the inside of the 22 of Joey Logano, while his teammate of Todd Gilliland finds himself back out front for not the first time today. He's been out front more than once here as we continue to try and just grind our way through this grid up to P23. If we can just crack the top 20, I would consider that a success. I mean, the way we're running right now, a top 10 does not seem to be a very realistic goal. I mean, we have now done 67 laps, and we have a crash in the front, and that's John Hunter Nemechek in the part-time 67, who's gone around. Caution again. This time, everyone's going to pit as we have just a little over 20 laps to go. It's going to put us close on fuel. Everybody's going to box as Hocevar and Zilish run P1 and P2, making Junior Motorsports proud today, as Gray is going to stay out because he just brought out that caution recently, and we end up again on the outside here running P18. Ready to roll, maybe one more time. It's going to be 21 laps to go. We do not have enough fuel. We're not going to be able to save 3 laps of fuel either. We've got 18 laps of fuel, 21 laps to go. We need a caution to make it. So we could see a green flag pit stop as Brent Cruz is going backwards immediately. You see a few cars on the outside, 3 wide. One of them is one of the Cup Series rookies, the 00 of Chase Purdy. The other one is going to be the 48 of Caruth there in that overstock red and white Cadillac. Still one of my favorite paint schemes in the career mode by far. Cachinero whipped up such a banger last season for that 48 car now. As you see the 81 of Jesse Love going forward, followed by the 6 of Eckes now, and immediately here I am 3 wide in the middle, looking for an opportunity to get down to the inside. Here comes the 45 of Ross Chastain at his new team of 2311 for this season. Don't be surprised if we see Chastain win several races once he kind of gets up to speed. I really think he is now capable of winning 4 or 5 races per season with 2311 and being a serious season after season championship threat. John Hunter Nemechek now to my inside, and we are just getting pushed to the back lap after lap. But as Ryan Blaney comes through, actually side draft him, not what I wanted to do, but we get down behind him anyways, and we can finally focus once again on moving forward in the final 20 laps of this race. This has been super fun. I mean, even, you know, this race is good when you've run 20th to 25th to even 30th for the entire race. But it's fun. I mean, I am having a blast racing on this track here now as we're following that Xfinity Mobile 2311 Toyota Camry there of Ryan Blaney now, as we continue to just kind of force ourselves to this inside now. And now the 12 goes around of Zane Smith. We were just hyping him up recently, and he's going to bring out a caution, and this is the caution everybody needed. Taylor Gray, he is going to pit, of course, because he stayed out on that last caution. But that's the caution everyone needed to get themselves in the fuel window. It's not going to be perfect, but I believe we're all going to be good by a lap or 2 on fuel. So it's going to be close, and we still might see some drivers that can't quite make it, and they end up having to pit right towards the end of this race here. Now, as fortunately for us, with Taylor Gray pitting, it puts us P21 on the inside. We've got less than 15 laps to go as we take the green flag, 14 to be exact here now, and we continue to grind our way forward once again. Now into the top 20. This might be the first time today I've been in the top 20. Now 19th. Make that 18th to the inside of the 98 of Chase Briscoe. As we exit turn 2, we're going to actually be 3 wide down the back straightaway. No, we're not. The 98 gets clear of the 6 now, but the 3 wide behind us now as we are P17 into turn number 3. We're very slowly getting ourselves into the conversation. Do we have a car capable of winning this race? I don't know. I really don't think we do, but we're certainly going to give it our all as we were fighting with Ryan Blaney and left the door open for Sheldon Creed to get to my inside. It's so simple and easy to just plow up the track and leave that inside wide open. We pay the price because, again, stuck in the middle lane. Here comes Talladega winner from last season, Parker Retzlaff with GMS Racing to the inside, and John Hunter Nemechek as well. Christopher Bell would get down in front of him, and we would be back to maintaining P18 as we're coming to just 10 laps to go here from this Atlanta Motor Speedway. An aggressive move to the inside of the Allegiant 94 as we roll through 3 and 4. Connor Zilish continues to lead the race here now as we exit the 4th corner down this front straightaway. Unfortunately, not enough draft. The 94 gets back out in front, but we're to the inside of the 10 of Sheldon Creed and back to the inside again of the 94 of Parker Retzlaff. Now, the question is, can we all make it to the end on field? Surely there's going to be a few drivers here that haven't saved enough as the 3 of Austin Hill takes the lead here on lap 85 of 91. Alex Bowman to P17 there just in front of us now as we're continuing to try and move our way forward, but it is getting more and more difficult to pass as we move forward throughout this grid. Chandler Smith for Trackhouse Racing in the number 99, his second race with that team after losing his ride at Joe Gibbs Racing, as the spin behind as it's the 26 of Sanchez crashing through the tri-oval into the infield grass. Caution again. It's going to be a super late green flag restart, and it looks like pretty well everybody's coming into the pits to play it safe. We're going to be on the same situation here, and the reason I am pitting is not necessarily for fuel but tires, because I know I'm going to struggle on tires if I stay out even in a super speedway. Tires still matter here, so I take right sides, and it was the right call. We lose 1 spot for the driver that stayed on the track. That's the 55 of Taylor Gray, who's in control. It's going to be 3 laps to go from Atlanta Motor Speedway, and Tricon Taylor Gray out in front, looking now to maybe win this race. Big stack up here into turn 1 on this bottom lane, and that completely destroys my momentum. And now through goes the 60 as well as the 10, and others are going to follow through, Bubba Wallace included. Here comes Chase Elliott, Noah Gregson to my back bumper, and that ruined any chance we probably had at a top 10 here today from Atlanta. Even if we were going to be able to do that, that was already up in the air because we just didn't quite have the speed. But now the focus is on the race for the win as we continue to try and move forward. A bit of contact there with the 9 as we come to 2 laps to go. The 3 of Austin Hill to the lead. He won Talladega a few seasons ago to put himself in the playoffs. Is he going to get another super speedway win at a track he's been so dominant at the Amazon Prime series throughout the years now as we roll through 3 and out of turn 4. White flag is waving. New leader. It's the 32 of Corey Day. Could he win his second race of his Cup career as a rookie? And Jordan Anderson's second race as a team in the Cup Series are in control on the final lap here from Atlanta. They're 3 by 3 right here in front of us now, but Day leads. But here comes the 81 of Jesse Love in his second start for Joe Gibbs Racing as I force it 4 wide. Jesse Love to the inside of Corey Day through 3 and 4. It's going to be another drag race to the line through the tri-oval. Jesse Love steals it at the end and gets his first win of the season and first win for Joe Gibbs Racing over Corey Day. Nothing to hang his head low about. As you see the finishing order, as we would end up with that 4 wide move down in 20 seconds still. What a race in Atlanta. I love this track so much in the super speedway configuration with this mod. It is awesome. Next episode, we kind of get back to some traditional racing. We head to Iowa, and Jesse Love kind of removes any surprise winner from today. And what a start for his tenure at Joe Gibbs Racing, and puts himself into the playoffs for this final season. I'll see you guys in the next one for race 3 from Iowa. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.